Energy flows where your attention goes. Qigong was character is heart, but it means mind. So mental power, internal power, and external power. So that's pretty simple, except it's not. So the more you train and the more people you listen to and the more reading you do, the more depth that this philosophy has for all of us. I'm past my expiration date, thanks to medical science. In the Qigong, I was in the hospital for 3 months. Qigong and thoughts of Subakdo training that I've done over my life has kept me going. And I did Mupadankum horizontally for 2 months in my hospital bed. I communicated with all my Subakdo friends and the whole world while I was recovering. I had to learn how to walk all over again. So all the things that come with its physical training and the mental training came into play for my recovery. And I took my 7th dawn test after I had my surgery. So I didn't think I was going to be physically able, but for some reason I borrowed the energy of my fellow candidates, and I was able to perform a little bit. And I didn't know I was testing. I just was there to be with my group.
Sure.
So I don't know how to put. I mean, that's as best I can put it to you.
And how did you do to perform Mupaltangam when in bed?
A lot of it was mental up here. I had movement of my arms part of the time. I wasn't able to stand up. So most of it was Shimkong. Most of it was mental. Have you ever heard of Song Tong? 2 songs, S-A-N-G, S-A-N-G.
No, sir.
Okay. That was given to me from an older gentleman who had a very low danban, I can't remember, who lived in our community, and he was a history teacher in Korea. And so he introduced me to the idea of song song. The first song, and song song means to think. And so it means to think about it, what you're going to do. Why can't I come up with a word? This book was given to me by one of my students, I think for my birthday. It's been a big help in me understanding and teaching better. You probably teach in a different language than I do, but you still have to use those phrases. And if you have a mental picture, which would be using your Qigong, of the characters, they mean more to you than just saying the words.
Yes, sir.
If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. So how do you see the relation between Negong and Qigong?
Let's go back to Song Song because I finally figured it out.
Okay.
It means imagination. So think of an image. So Qigong is a Song Song thing in as much as when we think of what we're going to do, that's coming from the Qigong, And we have to prepare what we're going to do with our breathing, and inhalation. All those things have to come into play before we explode into wei gong, into the movement. You ask about what I learned in, in the Moo Duk Kwan and training with Subat Do. I told you how basically it saved my life because I was able to transfer all that stuff medically, internally. So my Shimgung, my song painted a picture, and I couldn't complete all the preparations, and I certainly couldn't do the physical application. But I was able to work it so that it worked for me. And as a teacher, we have to figure out and strive to get a spark of understanding from our students. And many of us are different. And, I'm so glad that we're different because I've learned so much.